You're tuned into Exercise for the Mind, where we give you the best tips on battling mental health with the strength of your body.
Hello everyone, welcome to Exercise for the Mind. I am your host, Raina Wall, and the founder of this podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about the judgment we put on ourselves. So to get started, your judgments about your life and the people in it have a significant impact on the amount of anxiety and depression you experience. A recent study done by Mindfulness magazine in July of 2010 found that the participants who rated highest on non-judgmental measures also had lower levels of depression, anxiety, and stress-related symptoms. So this is just evidence that shows that the way that you feel about yourself directly impacts your mental health. And this goes as far as body and self-love. Accepting thoughts or experiences can reduce anxiety and depression rather than judging them. So exercise, for example, if something goes wrong during a workout, most people will get discouraged by that and end up leaving or not feeling confidence anymore. They feel embarrassment. But to accept it and move on is the strongest thing and the smartest thing you could do. So don't judge yourself often. If anything, motivate, encourage, and support yourself as your own friend. Like, if you would never discourage your friends for putting in work on themselves, why would you ever do it to yourself? If you wouldn't judge others for physical appearance, like if you wouldn't look at someone at the gym and make fun of them or think anything of them, why would you do it to yourself? You're placing that same hate that you would have for someone else. You're still having that hate, but just for yourself. You're gonna just want to see the silver lining. Reward yourself for the small progressions and accomplishments. Don't focus so much on the little things that you might have messed up. 63% of women identified their weight as a key factor in how they judge themselves. So they literally placed all of this value in how much the scale says they weigh, and that is so harmful for someone. It's not good for mental health in any way. And social media is the primary reason why we have these different stigmas around ourselves. Social media bombards us with these marketing strategies on unrealistic diets that we should be following that aren't sustainable, like the juice cleanses, the ketos, all these different plans that they say will help you get there faster. In real life, like, they're not sustainable, they're not realistic, they're not healthy, but they can lead to health problems, if anything, and especially on your mental health. Like, not being able to do these unrealistic diets can tell you that not good enough, that it's unachievable, that you're not strong enough, that you're not willing enough, but it's not realistic, it's not possible. So to measure yourself on these metrics, it's already hurting yourself before you can even evaluate how you're doing or how you're feeling. These weight loss standards, or these models, or these Instagram influencers, anybody with these large followings that are looked up to as beautiful, fit, lean, all of these standards, most of the time they're photoshopped. Most of the time they're not real. I've been in so many situations where I've scrolled through Instagram and I've seen someone post a picture of them and they look so small and so petite, and I've personally deleted a picture of mine because I sit there and I compare myself to another person, another being, and how they look on social media. Almost always it's not a accurate photo of them. It's the angle, or it's the Photoshop, or it's any way that they can really just change their appearance to look how society sees fit. Everybody has this mindset almost everybody judges themselves in some way or has at some point in their life. And social media has really made it so much harder for young people, young girls, older girls, anybody in society to function with self-love because of these unrealistic standards that social media places upon us. And that is to no fault but social media. It is to no fault of anybody who even falls in the trap of altering their image for social media, because it's a spiral effect. Almost everybody does it because it's the standard for society now, and the standards are unrealistic and unhealthy. Beauty images are now impossible and unrealistic. Like I said, like these people who are viewed as beautiful or the ideal look, they're not even how they look in real life. So it's like, how could you compare yourself to something that's not real? it's limiting yourself or your ability to do things, because before you even start, you're wanting to stop because you physically and mentally can't get there on your own. So it's really something like self-judgment is such a tricky thing to go with, because you're so in your head about it, and a lot of the time it's inaccurate because of these different like metrics that you're comparing yourself to. It's a lot like what I said about the social comparison in the gym in my second episode of the podcast. You're comparing yourself to other people's metrics, which is unrealistic, because no humans are the same, unless they're twins, but no humans are one and the same, and to compare yourself to any other person is harmful to your mental health. So really, all in all, what I want you to get from this episode is to just focus on yourself. When you're getting to judge yourself, take into account not one person, but you. Judge the results off of where you started and where you are now, not where someone else is now. Self-love is a very big concept in society these days, like loving yourself for who you are, and it's so true. It's so important to love yourself for where you're at, because if you don't love yourself for where you're at, how could you ever move? Because you're not going to let yourself change. You're not going to feel worthy enough for change. And these negative mindsets are really going to harm your mental health and harm your physical health, because you're never going to be able to make these changes that you need to, that are crucial to your overall health. So what I want you all to get from this episode is to just be kind to yourself as if you were your own friend. Treat yourself as your own friend. Don't judge yourself if you wouldn't judge someone else in the same light. So I hope that you gained something from this episode. Don't forget to follow us on both Spotify and Apple, as well as any other social media you see linked in the description. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and do not forget to keep moving. See you later.